Good morning. Today I would like to start our study off by drawing your attention to this. That we are going to see that this little horn is given 2 periods of time to exercise its power. We're starting off by reading Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. He will speak against the Most High and oppress his saints and try to change the set times and the laws. The saints will be handed over to him for a times and a half a time. So we see that the period of time that this little horn has to exercise and to do the following: he's going to speak against the Most High in this time, he's going to oppress the saints of God in this time, and he's going to try and change the set times and laws in this time. This time being a times and a half a time. The second period of time that this little horn exercises power is revealed in Daniel chapter 8, and I'm going to start reading from verse 12. Because of rebellion, the host of the saints and the daily sacrifice were given over to it. It prospered in everything it did, and truth was thrown to the ground. Then I heard a holy one speaking, and another holy one said to him, "How long will it take for the vision to be fulfilled? The vision concerning the daily sacrifice, the rebellion that causes desolation, and the surrender of the sanctuary, and of the host that will be trampled underfoot." So we see again that the question is asked. This little horn is given a time to do certain things. It causes rebellion. The hosts of the saints are mistreated. The daily sacrifice is handed over to it. It causes desolation. It causes rebellion. And the question is asked, how long will this little horn exercise its power? Verse 14 says, "He said to me, it will be 2,300 evenings and mornings, then the sanctuary will be reconsecrated." Another word for reconsecrated is that the sanctuary will again be cleansed. Now when we look at these 2 time periods revealed in Daniel, we find that what it's doing now, we're going to find it links up with Revelation. And I want to show this to you. So we're going to go to the book of Revelation. It's a book that is not closed, and I want to start off by reading out of Revelation chapter 11. It starts off, and the first one I want to draw your attention to is Revelation chapter 11 verse 2. It says there, "They will trample on the holy city for 42 months. So remember, we're talking about the trampling on of truth. We're trampling on the sanctuary. And here we see that this period of time that is going to trample on that will be for a period of 42 months. In Revelation chapter 11 verse 3, it says there, "And I will give power to my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth." So we see here it's referring to his 2 witnesses. We're going to discuss it as we get to it, but we have a period again of 1,260 days. Then I want you to notice that we're going to jump over into Revelation chapter 12 verse 6. And in Revelation chapter 12 verse 6 we read this: "The woman fled into the desert to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 1,260 days. Again, we are brought to the same understanding of a period of time. It then goes on in Revelation chapter 12 verse 14 to say this: "The woman was given the 2 wings of a great eagle, so that she might fly to a place prepared for her in the desert, where she would be taken care of for a times and a half a time, out of the serpent's reach." So here in Revelation chapter 12 verse 14, we come across again times and a half a times, similar to that found in Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. Then I want you to notice that we are now going to what they call the Antichrist chapter. And in the Antichrist chapter, we find again what the world understands to be the actions of the devil. Those he and the organizations that he has under his control. What are they going to do to stand in God's place? And how long will they be given time to do this? In Revelation chapter 13, verse 5, we read the following. The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies, and to exercise his authority, and now we see for 42 months. So all along in the book of Daniel, and now linking over to the book of Revelation, we find certain times given. The two time periods of the little horn are Daniel 7 verse 25, times and a half a time. And we see in Revelation how that it exercises this time. Then we see in Daniel chapter 8 verse 12 and 14 that the extended period of time is now not just times and a half a time, or 1,260 days, or 42 months, but it is now jumped to 2,300 days. I want you to notice that this is very important, and for the next few studies we are going to try and understand what is going on here. So I hope that you will do some homework, that you will go and look at these verses and see if you can calculate what is 42 months, what is times and a half a time, what is the 1,260 days, etc. And I'm hoping that as we discover this, we will see that we are living in the last heartbeats of this great controversy, and that we need to be praying and watching, praying for our salvation, and watching to see that we are not caught by the enemy, that this little horn will not deceive us, and that we will hold on to our salvation with fear and trembling. God bless you today.